Hi guys, welcome back to Do So Confidently and this adult, very well established adult reading out the Harry Potter series for the first time. I have not seen a movie, I have only read the books now, and this is the last book in the series called The Deathly Hallows. Up to this point, I have already said it several times, my favorite book of all time, even after reading this one, was The Goblet of Fire. It was the end of the happy-go-lucky, fanciful, get lost in a different reality that was fun to get lost in part of the series. This book and the two before it became very quickly the, well, you've already been happy, now let's see the bad part. It is very dark, very angsty. This one is no exception. It's also huge in relation to the other books. A lot is going on. I have actually several very strong critiques about this book. Of all the books, this one is my least favorite. And I say that for several reasons. I will say this, I was not happy with any of the character development in this book. There was one aspect, again without spoiling anything, there was the one aspect in relation to the last, if you saw the last video, the love life, I was okay with as far as character development. I was okay with it. That being said, the fact that I was okay with it, that was my favorite part of this book. So that gives you a lot of ideas of how I feel about this particular book. My negative feelings are not geared to the writing style of this book. It is geared specifically towards the story itself. And that is because I did not like the ending of the series. Before I get there though, I'm going to do that last. I want to start with the fact that this is by far the darkest of the books. It has the most needless deaths and violence of any of the books I've seen. A lot of things could have happened without people dying. I get that there is a need to break your heart basically, but it didn't break my heart. It was another one of those, after about halfway through it, I was starting to see characters pop out and I'm like, oh, well, they're dead. I mean, and they did. So it was just very needless to me. And it became predictable, which I did not like. As far as that was character development and general plot. Again, harping on divination is the strongest, the reasoning is strongest and explained in here. Not a fan of how that was incorporated as the final part of the story. It did make for an interesting element, I will give it that. Wasn't a fan of its use. Could have been a million ways to make the connections that are happening. And the fact that she chose divination, it just turned me off because I already have a predisposed idea of divination and I don't like it. That's not necessarily a fault of the book, but that is definitely what I felt towards it. Ending sequence. I was severely disappointed in the fact, and I'm trying to do this spoiler free again, this is spoiler free if you've seen the other two videos. If you haven't, the videos are spoiler free, but I'm opening up a channel after I record this video in my Discord to fully discuss with spoilers my feelings and other people's feelings. And I'm also looking at housing a stream just to talk about the books. Both of those are going to have spoilers, so this video is my gift to people who don't want spoilers but want to know what I thought. I will get into more detail with the people who are okay with spoilers. So, as far as the ending is, the ending had a lot of build-up and then to me just fell so flat. And that is because my expectations were not met. By the end of this book, the one thing I did approve of was how invested you got into the war that was going on. And it wasn't just one person's war. More and more people, as more people died, more people were affected and became involved. By the end of the book, none of those people had a say in the final battle. 5 people had a say in a setup way towards the end, but they were not a part of the resolution of the story of Voldemort and Harry. I was also a little bit disappointed in how both predictable and easy the first step to Harry's fight with Voldemort was, and that was, again without spoilers, him meeting, and this is going to be a spoiler but it's not going to tell you anything, but him meeting Voldemort in the forest. I was not happy with that sequence at all for a couple of reasons. The build up to it was not ideal. The setup for his strength and his comfort was okay. I feel like they chose the wrong people to be there, or at least they forgot a couple, and one person who was there made no sense to me for why he was there. So I wasn't very happy with the choices of people. I wasn't very happy with the ease of what happened because it was very cut and dry with no emotion. And the sequence that kind of happens in the middle didn't touch me in any way. Like, it didn't make me feel in any way. It was almost just information. There was an attempt to make you feel, and maybe my dislike for the buildup of the plot itself, which I just realized I forgot to say. So over the course of the book, my critique of that is that it was incredibly painfully slow. It was a lot of 1 step forward, 10 steps back. So you didn't feel like you were getting anywhere. And all of a sudden, about maybe 3/4 of the way through, maybe a little bit more, not only was the answer just there, but Harry knew what to do, and I was left feeling like I missed something because there was no way he went from 3 pages before not having a clue to not only having a clue, but knowing the how, the where, and the why. So that I felt cheated. So with that in mind, going back to the final battle, because I already felt cheated, I didn't have a connection with the ending battle itself. And I really didn't have a connection with the resolution of the battle. I did like the explanation of the Hallows, I must say, of the artifacts of the series, like all the things like Quidditch and the castle itself and the wands, of all those, like what I would call merch ideas. The Hallows actually are my favorite of them, which is weird because it's in my least favorite book, but the idea of hunting down the Hallows, what to do with them, what they are, that is, I actually really enjoyed that part of the story. So that being said, I was relatively disappointed in the ending of the series. I still stand by the fact that I would stop the series at book 4, the Goblet of Fire, and I would not let anybody under 17 at least read this book, mainly for how much dark death and despair there is in it. That describes this book. It was dark, there's a ton of death, and there was a lot of despair with no real resolution to the people who suffered, besides the obvious win of the battle, which you know, that's not a spoiler. If a book ends, there was an ending to the battle. I hate to say it, I was disappointed. So that being said, tomorrow, before these videos even get edited, I'm going to go open the channels for discussion. So if you're watching this video, this discussion has been ongoing. Quickly run and go check for it. Come tell me what you think. Tell me you saw the video. Tell me, you know, that I'm wrong. Tell me that I'm right. Tell me that I misunderstood the whole premise of the story. I don't care. I want to hear it all. I want to discuss this because I feel like I missed something and I don't like that feeling. So please come tell me. and I will see you in the Discord, and hopefully if we have this chat stream, I'll see you in the chat stream. Bye.